Did you know that one of the best NBA players ever began his career by making ends meet by selling trinkets and sunglasses on the streets? Who would have predicted that a skinny kid from Athens, Greece, selling sunglasses and watches on the street would become one of the most notable figures in basketball history? His name, Giannis Antetokounmpo, also known as the Greek Freak. Giannis has defied expectations and reshaped what it means to be a worldwide basketball icon, going from a stateless kid to a two-time NBA MVP and an NBA champion. But how did he become a basketball star when no one in Athens knew who he was? His rise to fame is both surprising and inspiring. This is the story of Giannis Antetokounmpo. A lot of people thought Giannis would never accomplish what he had done. History is going to remember him for a long time as an NBA winner, Finals MVP, and two-time MVP. To fully understand Giannis's amazing journey, we need to go back to the streets of Sepolia, where a young boy with big dreams, a strong work ethic, and brave faith in himself set out on his path to survival, not fame. Giannis's story is about more than just basketball. It's about determination, family, and getting past impossible problems. Giannis Antetokounmpo was born in Athens, Greece on December 6, 1994. His parents, Veronica and Charles, lived there before coming to Greece from Nigeria. As illegal immigrants, his parents had a lot of problems after moving to Greece to try to make their lives better. Giannis was a young man trying to support his family before he became famous in the NBA. He lived in a working-class area of Athens and had to deal with racism, poverty, and fear as a child. As kids, Giannis and his brothers Thanasis, Kostas, Alex, and Francis all often sold watches, sunglasses, and other things on the streets of Sepolia to help their parents make money to survive their harsh conditions. This early trouble shaped Giannis's determination and humility. They didn't have a full citizenship for a lot of their childhood because neither Greece nor Nigeria recognized their identity. He didn't become a Greek citizen until 2013, just a few weeks before he was picked in the NBA draft. Giannis's family has always been an important part of his life. His mother, Veronica, was the emotional center of the family. His father, Charles, who used to play soccer, taught his children to be strong and responsible. Throughout his career, Giannis has said that the sacrifices his family has made have been the best thing that has ever driven him. Thanasis, Giannis's older brother and present teammate, taught him how to play basketball when Giannis was 12 years old. At first, he wasn't interested, but he quickly became deeply passionate about the sport. He was very raw, but his natural skills and agility were clear from a young age. Giannis couldn't join local basketball clubs until he was in his early teens because he didn't have the right paperwork. Even after he finally learned how to play, he had trouble because he didn't have the right shoes. And during practice, he and his brothers sometimes shared a pair. Even with these problems, Giannis fell in love with hoops. Because he was raw and unpolished, his passion and drive stuck out to coaches. Spiros Viliniadis, a coach, saw how good he was and asked him to join Athleticism, a small club in Greece's lower leagues. He became famous right away for being able to bend and move quickly. When he was 15, he played against grown men and showed an unmatched mix of speed, length, and precision for a player his height. Giannis often had to drive miles to practice though, because his family was having money problems and couldn't afford to pay for transportation. As an underclassman, Antetokounmpo played in the Greek B Basket League, 3rd Division, with Athleticis's senior men's team in 2011-12. He signed a 4-year deal with Cagliari Zaragoza of Spain in December 2012. Just a few days after his 18th birthday, it was said that he included NBA buyouts at the end of each season because he wanted to be in the NBA. Several other top European teams like Barcelona and Anadolu Efes were also interested in him. Antetokounmpo played an average of 22.5 minutes per game in the 2012-13 Greek A2 league season. He hit 46.4% from the field, 62.1% on two-point field goals, 31.3% from three-point range, and 72.0% from the free throw line. In 26 games, he averaged 9.5 points, 5.0 rebounds, 1.4 assists, and 1.0 blocks. Along with that, the coaches picked him to play in the 2013 Greek League All-Star game. He wasn't actually picked as an all-star. The coaches let him play for the fans just because he was there. Players from Greece's 1st Division are the only ones who can be chosen to play in the game. Antetokounmpo was playing in Greece's 2nd Division at the time, so he wasn't officially an all-star pick. Scouts from the NBA and Europe began to pay attention. Giannis was always devoted to his family, even when he was in the press. He often sent home money from basketball games to pay the bills. It was one of Giannis's most important moments when he said he was going to join the 2013 NBA draft. At the time, not many people knew about him, but NBA teams were interested in him because of the unique talent as a multi-positional player that is tall and quick. The night of the draft was anxious for most prospects because they had to sit and watch teams pass them up while picks went off the board. With the 15th pick in the NBA draft, the Milwaukee Bucks selected Giannis. When he moved to Milwaukee in 2013, he weighed only 190 pounds at age 18. He was 6 feet 11 inches tall and spoke very little English. He played his first game in the NBA on October 13, 2013, when he was 18 years and 11 days old. This made him one of the league's youngest players. Giannis found it hard to fit in with American society, but he did it with the same determination he showed on the basketball court. He was once so poor that he had to rush to a game because he couldn't afford a taxi. He also reportedly sent most of his rookie salary back to his family in Greece. Giannis had flashes of greatness during his first season, but he also had growing pains. But it was clear that he was a long-term project, even though he wasn't what he know him as today. His length, speed, and ability to see the floor well made him appear like he was destined for stardom. Giannis's coaches and teammates quickly noticed how hard he worked. His fierce dunks and long strides won him the nickname the Greek Freak. He played in 77 games in his first season and averaged 6.8 points, 4.4 rebounds, 1.9 assists, 0.8 steals, and 0.8 blocks. At the end of the season, he had 61 blocks, which was the most of any rookie in the NBA, and the 7th most by a Bucks rookie in the team's history. He was picked to play in the NBA All-Star Weekend Rising Stars Challenge in New Orleans. After 8 minutes of play, in which he scored 9 points, grabbed 2 rebounds, and served 2 assists. At the end of the season, he was picked for the second team of the NBA All-Rookies. Giannis's real big year came in 2016-17 when he averaged 22.9 points, 8.8 rebounds, and 5.4 assists per game. After breakout games and being named to his first All-Star team, Antetokounmpo led the Bucks in all 5 of the most important stats: points, rebounds, assists, steals, and blocks. He became the 5th NBA player to do it, after Kevin Garnett, LeBron James, Dave Cowens, and Nikola Jokic has since tied that record. In a single NBA season, he was also the first player to finish in the top 20 in all 5 of the league's main categories. Because of how well he played, Antetokounmpo was named to his first All-NBA team, the All-NBA second team. Additionally, he won the NBA Most Improved Player Award for the 2016-17 season, becoming the first player in Bucks history to do so. He was picked for the Eastern Conference All-Star team for the first time and started. At 22 years and 74 days, he was the youngest player in team history to start an All-Star game. He was also named the first Greek NBA All-Star. At just 22 years old, he went from being a raw prospect to the face of the Milwaukee Bucks. It was a great year for Giannis, but his father died. In March 2017, Giannis had one of his most memorable games by scoring a career-high 52 points against the Philadelphia 76ers. It was clear that he was one of the best players in the league because he was so good at defense, getting boards, and scoring the ball. Giannis solidified his status as a rising star that season as he led the Bucks to their first postseason appearance in several years. Giannis took the Bucks to the playoffs for the first time in many years. In Game 1 of the playoffs, he scored 30 points and grabbed 9 rebounds against the Toronto Raptors. This established himself as one of the league's growing stars. It was feared that Giannis might not be able to lead the Bucks to a title after several disappointing playoff runs. Some people didn't like how he couldn't consistently make his jumper, which allowed teams to block the lane and make it difficult for him to get to the basket. In 2019, Giannis led the Bucks to the best record in the league with an average of 27.7 points, 12.5 rebounds, and 5.9 assists per game. This earned him his first MVP award. In each game, he had at least 25 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 assists per game. In less than 33 minutes, he was the only player in NBA history to do that. Giannis gave the award to his late father, Charles, who had a big effect on him before he died in 2017. Giannis is only the 12th player in NBA history to win MVP more than once. He did it again in 2020. He won both MVP and NBA Defensive Player of the Year in the same season, joining Michael Jordan and Hakeem Olajuwon as the only players to do so. He helped the Bucks set yet another league record that season by averaging 29.5 points, 13.6 boards, and 5.6 assists. Giannis worked hard to improve his game because, even though he dominated the regular season, the Bucks had a rough time in the playoffs. The world's change made the offseason very unpredictable, which was a shame. Will the bubble show up again? Will the NBA season start up the same way it always does? The most important game in Giannis's career was the 2021 NBA Finals. Giannis had one of the best finals games in NBA history after the Phoenix Suns beat the Bucks to take a 2-0 lead. The Suns didn't win another game. In the Game 6 clincher, he scored 50 points, grabbed 14 boards, and blocked 5 shots. He won Most Valuable Player of the Finals and helped the team win its first title in 50 years. Giannis's play in Game 6 was historic. It had been since 1958 that a player had scored 50 points in a game that decided the finals. His 17 of 19 free throw shooting performance put to rest critics who had long doubted his ability to carry out orders while under pressure. Additionally, Giannis has done a lot for the Greek national team in addition to his work in the NBA. Giannis became an important part of the Greek national team when he was only 20 years old. His ability to defend and get rebounds against a strong Spanish team showed how good he could be on the world stage. Even though Greece lost 73-71, Giannis's play made him the clear choice to lead the team in the future. Giannis had a triple-double, 24 points, 10 rebounds, and 10 assists against New Zealand in a 2019 FIBA World Cup game. This is something that doesn't happen very often in international play. Because he is both great on the court and humble, he has totally changed what it means to be a global basketball star. Giannis's story shows that if you have the drive and determination to achieve, you can become great from anywhere. Even though Greece hasn't done well in international events, Giannis has stayed committed to playing for his country and inspiring the next generation of Greek athletes. Giannis is without a question one of the best players in NBA history. He keeps breaking records for the league. He was the only player in NBA history to finish a regular season in the top 20 in all 5 categories: total points, rebounds, assists, steals, and blocks. He was also the only player to consistently average at least 25 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal, and 1 block over several seasons. He was also the only player in NBA history to average at least 30 points and a 60% field goal percentage, and the only non-American player to win MVP of the NBA All-Star Game. Only 3 people in NBA history have won both MVP and Defensive Player of the Year awards in the same season. He is the only player in NBA history to score 200 points, grab 100 rebounds, and hand out 50 assists all in a game series. The only player in NBA history to score at least 31 points, 14 rebounds, and 6 assists in a single playoff season. Giannis Antetokounmpo's story is one of determination, family, and never giving up. He went from selling things on the streets of Athens to winning 2 NBA titles and being named MVP. Because he is both great on the court and humble, he has totally changed what it means to be a global basketball star. Giannis's story shows that if you have the drive and determination to achieve, you can become great from anywhere. People who are moved by Giannis's story can share this movie to get the word out about his amazing journey. When did Giannis do something that you liked most about his career? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. And if you want to read more inspiring sports news, click the subscribe button below. Those who like this will enjoy this video about the homeless teen that became one of the best NBA players ever.